Hey everyone, I'm Julie, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new home office calendar from MomAgenda. Okay, so the team over at MomAgenda was kind enough to send over this planner for me to review and share with you guys, so thank you very much to them. So they recently launched their new home office calendar year edition planner. This is a December 2022 through January 2024. That is unbelievable to even say that out loud. They sent me over the one in the blue stone cover. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So there are 5 different cover options. As I said, this is the blue stone cover. This planner does start at $44 and it is a 9x11 size planner. So to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like next to, like, say, an EC, it is definitely a lot taller and then just a little bit wider, as you can see there. Now on their website they do say that this is their very first spiral bound planner, but of course this is actually like wire O binding, but still obviously if this is not a format that they've had before, then this is the first time that they have had it. As you guys know, I've purchased one of their A5 ring bound planners before, so I was really curious to see what all was in here. And even though it does have the wire O binding, I can appreciate that it's a little bit smaller and not quite as bulky as maybe some other brands have used. The overall profile of the planner itself is definitely very, very slim, and I can appreciate that, because when you start adding in a big coil and a chipboard cover and all kinds of great paper, the planner can start to get extremely heavy. Okay, so I wanted to like lower the brightness of my camera just a little bit to kind of give you a better idea of the color of this gorgeous cover. It's a beautiful navy blue cover. All right, so let's jump right in. So first off, there are 2 of these pockets, which I can greatly appreciate. They're also gusseted, so there's plenty of space for adding documents, invitations, schedules, things like that. There's one in the front. And then there's also one more in the back. So you're gonna get plenty of storage for you to take this out and about with you if you need to. So of course on the very first cover you have the logo, MomAgenda, and a place to put your name, address, and phone number. Now one of the things that I immediately noticed was the color of the paper. So it does have a bit of a color to it. And I hate to keep comparing it to like an EC, but it's like the planner that's within reach of me. So just to kind of give you an idea of the difference in color of paper, the EC would definitely be a more bright white, while the MomAgenda is definitely more of a off-white, not necessarily like cream per se, but it looks very creamy next to the Erin Condren paper. Okay, so over on this page, you've just got some more information like their website, things like that. You have a lovely introduction page with a letter from the creator, Nina. Then you've got a couple of pages with a how-to. I think that these can be very useful if you are new to planning or maybe get a little bit overwhelmed with a new planner. You have a couple of pages to kind of guide you with different ways that you can use the layout, because it's definitely a unique layout. I will definitely give them that. It's kind of refreshing to see something different out there in the community. So you've got family members information. Another thing that I can appreciate is how large the font is on these pages. So definitely easy to see with lots of room to write, because again, this book is a 9x11 size. And you've got several pages of that because, as you know, as a parent, you're going to have a lot of contacts. So you've also got an area which I thought was really helpful where it's got your babysitters information, kids after school programs. This could be helpful to have this book left at home so that if someone needed this information, they know exactly where they can find it. You've also got like kids' favorite attractions, names of restaurants, takeout and delivery, club and leisure activities, health clubs and gyms, as well as salons. And then you've got some important household information, phone numbers like your vet, your pet groomer, decorator, cleaning service, lawn service, garbage, recycle, etc. All of those places can be kept in one spot. I thought this is really cool too. You have an entire page that's got a lot of vehicle information in here, and that again can also be helpful to have it all in one space. They have included a page that has websites and passwords. I don't know why this is a thing with planners, but it just seems to be. I would never personally write my passwords down, but here is this page in case you do want to use it. Then you've also got a space for your kids' medical information. Again, this is probably why this book would never leave my house if I used it in this way. There's just a lot of personal sensitive information that you can put in here, but it's also great if, again, you need a centralized place to keep all of it. And there's plenty of pages for that for multiple children. You've also got an area for birthdays and anniversaries with one space for each month of the year. You've also got some anniversary gift giving guides. So I thought that was pretty cool. So like, for example, I am going to be celebrating 25 years this year of marriage with my husband. And so the anniversary gift this year would be silver. I also thought that this is really cool. And again, in case you need some help with gift giving, you've got zodiac symbols and birthstones and flowers. Like, that's a whole lot of detail in this planner. Then you've got a list of holidays. I haven't gotten to the month view in this book, but it'll be interesting to see if they're both listed out here as well as on the month view. I love having them listed out. I don't necessarily need it in my month view because they can kind of get in the way, but I think that this is a really cool situation that they have here. All right, so then you've got your year at a glance. I really, really love this layout, again, because all of this space is used on these pages, with the exception of a large area left up top, which is totally fine. But all of the calendars are nice and big, easy to see. You can use like your dot markers or just circle X off dates, however you wanted to use this page. You've got a good 2 years at a glance at your fingertips. All right, so here we are at a month view. Another feature that I instantly fell in love with here is that it is a Monday start. The notes area is over here on the left, which I actually love, and each box is lined, which I can appreciate. So they did include the holidays, but again, because this is a much larger planner, the boxes are going to feel definitely more substantial. And then another thing that I wanted to point out is that the print on this page is not black. It's definitely more of a dark brown. The entire theme of this planner feels very warm and comforting. I know that that might sound weird, but I really, really like this. You also have the previous month as well as the upcoming month, and of course a quote. I love lined boxes in a monthly. Erin Condon did this for 1 year and 1 year only, and I don't know who filled out this survey and said that they didn't like it, but we can't be friends. All right, so let's take a look at the week view, because I think that this is a very interesting week view. Again, the name of this brand is MomAgenda, so yes, the concept is geared towards parents, but I think that there's a lot of flexibility to be had here. So you have your week over on the side where you can list out the things for the week. If you need to use this space, this area is not lined, but essentially this top portion is kind of designated for your things, your tasks, the parents' tasks, if you will. Then you've got space for 4 kids down at the bottom. Again, though, you don't necessarily have to use that. They kind of kept it nice and small, which I can definitely appreciate. And then there is a carved out area for dinner at the bottom, which I absolutely love. All of the columns are lined. Again, this is a much larger planner, so the print feels very robust, if you will. It just feels like you're going to have a lot of space for things. Now, will your typical 1.5 inch wide sticker fit? It's definitely going to be like you're going to have a lot of space on either side. So you can see that there are the lines over here, and then it ends way over here. So your stickers are probably, you're going to be able to make it work, right? They're not going to be too big, but you're definitely going to have some extra space on the page on the left and the right. So I really like this because, again, you can take this and do your whole schedule across the top, but then if you don't have kids' schedules to manage, you could use one for what your workout is for the day, a positive affirmation, tracking your water intake, maybe tracking your favorite TV show that you're watching, or even a reading log, so you can like track the pages if you wanted to. So there's definitely some flexibility with these pages. There wouldn't have been now if they made the print like in each box and made it really huge, but I can appreciate that they kind of left some space for you to kind of figure out what you want to do with this. Another thing I want to note is that the corners are rounded. Not sure if that's a big deal to anyone, but I just like to mention those little details. Also, the tabs are very well laminated. You can tell that they're going to last throughout the whole year, which I can definitely appreciate. So yeah, each week looks the same. And then when you get to the end of the month, there is not like a cover page for the month, if you will. So the week's just going to end and you're going to flip and you're going to go to the month view. There's not like a notes page in between, no title page, nothing like that. So I think that's where we get the very slim design of this planner, because there's not all of this extra stuff that you don't need. So again, you're going to have all of the weeks and months through January 2024, which I can definitely appreciate. So you do have the month for January 2024 and all of the weeks, which is awesome that they provided that. At the end, you do have a little notes tab, and you do get some notes pages at the back, and it's actually more than what I expected. It feels like about 10 or 15 front and back, which is great. And like I said, when you get to the back, there is another pocket to store plenty of items. So if I could point out any of the cons of this planner, is the size, but also the size is very doable because there's not all these extra pages to carry anything very large, and it's not going to make the book very thick is what I'm trying to say, which is great. So with the size, you could still essentially toss this into a tote bag and be totally fine. Now another thing is that there's no closure, so there's no like elastic type of thing to keep this thing shut. So if you do keep it in a tote, maybe keep it open side down, because if you have it open side up, things are going to get in there. I don't know. Those are just some things that I've thought about that I've noticed with planners like this in the past. They tend to have some sort of elastic closure along here that you can pull towards the front, and that is not included in here. The other thing is that the paper does feel a little on the thinner side, but I don't really see this being a book where you're trying to use like fountain pens and brush pens. Like for example, this is a Sarasa Dry, so I'm not gonna like bust out every single pen that I own, but if you're just gonna use like a very basic like 0.4, 0.5 pen, and this might be a little bit difficult to see, but there's definitely not any shadowing of any sort. It's just, I would stick to pens that are not so thick and heavy. Like definitely don't go for like a uniball type of bold pen. You can see there's a little bit of where you can feel the texture of the pen on the other side, but you're not going to get like any bleed through or anything like that. Now, if you were to take like some form of a highlighter, that would be interesting to see. But again, there's not any bleed through either. It's just not super thick like the EC paper, like Moxie Life paper. So it does kind of leave to question if your thicker pens are going to work. Like for example, this is an Erin Condren marker, and if I use the bold side on there, there's definitely some shadowing, but it's not horrible. It's going to be really hard to see. But again, you can use any of your normal regular tip markers and not have any issues there. The paper texture is semi-smooth. It's not smooth like plum paper, but it's not textured like EC paper. So it's right in the middle. Kind of reminds me of Moxie Life paper, but thinner, if that makes sense. So again, these planners are already available over at MomAgenda.com. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned in this video, please be sure to ask down below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this new planner from MomAgenda. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you are already subscribed, make sure you click that red notification bell so that you know when my videos are posted here on YouTube. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.